Fraunces Tavern is a building in Lower Manhattan, below Wall Street, in the lower precincts of what would have been New Amsterdam and later New York. It has significance in American history because it was there in the American Revolution. At least we think it was. I mean, the building was there. There was a Fraunces Tavern. It has, well, first of all, it was blown up in a Puerto Rican independence effort in the 1970s. So it's got the same bricks, same shape, same place. How many of those bricks are the same that used to be there was a little bit under dispute, but nevertheless, it's there. It looks like it, but it was there in the American Revolution. It was used as a British place for socializing and partying during the American Revolution. After all, New York was the British headquarters for more than 7 years and the site of the biggest battle of the American Revolution. But then it's also important as a place where George Washington, when the British leave on Evacuation Day, which used to be a big American holiday, November 25th, that was the day the Redcoats finally got on the last ship and sailed out of New York Harbor, meaning they're leaving the United States forever. And we have not, well, actually we were invaded briefly in 1812, but basically we've been free of the foreign boot ever since. That George Washington then meets his officers and says farewell to his generals and officers after the war is now concluded. They've left. And so the party is in Fraunces Tavern. I think the American Revolution is important in African-American history for several reasons. One is we would like to believe that all men are created equal. After all, so it says in our great documents. In fact, we know that the Founding Fathers managed to skirt this issue until the American Civil War finally settled it 75 or so years later. But African Americans fought on both sides of the war. They thought, well, if we were trying to achieve our independence on the basis of human equality, then that may be a chance for us to earn our freedom. And in fact, New York State did grant freedom to everybody who fought in the American Revolution. If you were a black and obviously a male, an adult, you fought in the American Revolution, they presumably freed you. But for the British, it was even more explicit. The British said, you will be free if we win. So a lot of African Americans fought on the British side. And ironically, the winning of American freedom and independence and the 4th of July and the American Revolution, which we celebrate with such gratitude. Actually, if you put yourself in the shoes of a black American at the time, that was bad news. That means slavery is going to continue to exist. That means human bondage and people bought and selling, being bought and sold and separated perhaps from their spouses or their children and being told what to do all their lives is going to continue. I don't think that story is as well known as it ought to be, that somehow victory in the American Revolution did not need to be celebrated in most African American households.